Jerry Gilsky is with us here on the John Mendola Show. Coach, congratulations. Big win against Berwick. Talk a little bit about these guys stepping up. And boy, you guys started really strong. Ethan Adams showed his leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something, it's a luxury to have as a coach, especially a 3-year starter at the quarterback spot. It's having an extra coach out there. You look at him, he really doesn't make many mistakes out there. He does his read. He really pays attention to game plan. One thing you still got to coach him because the one time he ran out of bounds, you're kind of like, we're trying to get the clock. I remember that, but he's trying to save his body because you have 7 more games left in our regular season. So, but overall, I love the kid, but he's surrounded with a lot of leaders too. So it's easy to be in that leader role, but he stands out more because he really knows the offense. He's comfortable at it, so he can really perform more.
Ryan Iden, he's a stud. There's no other way to describe him.
Absolutely. Ryan, what I love about him is he's just a tough kid. You know what I mean? And no matter where we put him on the field, he's a guy that I always say he does a little of this, does a little of that. So a lot of teams can't say, hey, he's just a tailback, let's key him there. We're going to put him over the whole field. And what's a luxury in his position is he has other guys that can perform too. So it loosens him and it puts defenses at more of a disadvantage because who do they key? And you open up on certain spots. You try to create as many mismatches as you can for him.
That interior line of yours, they're probably the unsung heroes tonight. They shut Berwick down. They couldn't do a whole lot.
Absolutely. That's one thing I have to say. I lost a good friend and coach, and this offensive line, with Coach McGovern and stuff, really worked hard. And losing Coach Fur, these guys said, hey, we're working hard. We want this year. And I know he's looking down and he's happy to see that. God bless him. They really wanted to prove this to some people because, you look up a line, we have one returning on the offensive line for the most part. But those guys, even with the disadvantage we had with COVID, they did the workouts in our Zoom meetings and at home doing makeshift cinder blocks and, carrying logs around and everything else like that just to keep the strength up in what they did. And then coming back early, those guys really worked hard on their strength endurance training because, how late we came back and we were one of the first schools to start back. We look at our workouts, you got to say, hey, listen, yeah, we got to get strong, but let's get the conditioning in and work that in there in our system to try to get faster because we lost a lot of strength with all those months.
A lot of emotions going on. You got a chance to have a little fun, you and Shooky, towards the end of the game, and you guys had the right call, and I put it in from like 19 yards out. It's emotional for everybody, the kids, the parents, and obviously you're hoping everybody, the student athletes, can get out there. Unfortunately, a situation at Dallas developed as quickly as today. They're shut down. That's an unfortunate situation, but I'm sure you're soaking up every moment you could hit the field. Feels great in week 1.
We have to do as much as we can to soak it up because you never know when you're going to have that call. I think probably out of all my years coaching since '98, it's very stressful. And I changed my coaching style with the kids because the fact that they're stressed out too. So I can't do the typical Coach Gilsky. I have to do the more of the nurturer type style coach to make it say, hey, I want to be here at practice. I can't wait for practice rather than, your atypical 8th or 9th week. You're like, oh, I'm sick of running. I'm doing this. So we've changed so much to evolve with this in society. And it's very tough because, one of the greatest advantages we have here at Lake Lehman is the administration. Hey, they get on me, they get on everybody. You can't take it personal because they have a big job to keep everybody safe and keep everybody active to our goals. I don't take it personally because the fact that, it's hard because you have people, saying, hey, this, that, everything. You got to do it. You got to do it. There's no questioning it or anything else like that. You got to do it, get it done, and get after it.
Great first week win against the Berwick Bulldogs. They weren't done. Mm-hmm. Credit to Berwick. They came back and they were willing to try to make this, a little close. And it was one touchdown, but boy, that last drive for you guys. But it's nice to see that. I'm sure you liked the way your guys responded.
We didn't have a dress rehearsal with a scrimmage, so everything in practice was done on the fly, basically, because you're like, we don't have this. But the luxury we have is there are a lot of seniors that are returning as multiple starters through the years. So, that was where my comfort level was. But credit to Berwick. They came back. They made their halftime adjustments. We gave them a little bit of a unique defense where they probably weren't ready for it. But one thing people need to realize, losing your starting quarterback, would definitely be a completely different game. And nothing against what they had right now. He did his job, what he needed to do. But you lose that luxury because you're mixing guys up in your rotation and playing in spots just for success in 1 week, as opposed to having a whole summer. So that's the difficulty part. Coach will get it done. He definitely will.
Congratulations, Jer.
John, thank you.